Claire, definitely with the losses of some of the best defensive backs in the country to the NFL, despite those losses, another group of defensive backs coming in, some of the top recruits in the nation, and some guys like Denzel Ward that have been in the system for a while. The defensive line is tremendous with the rotation that they have. Chris Worley leading the linebacking group. I see a defense that could be lights out, could be one of the best in the nation. As you look through what you're hearing out of summer camp and fall camp as we get into that in just a few days, what's going to make you feel better about this team at the end of August? What kind of reports, what do you want to hear out of camp that you have a few little questions about?
Yeah, and honestly, like you mentioned before, the defense, and what I really love is that once Greg Schiano came in to the program, it was almost like these guys were starving for what he had in store for them as far as defensive scheme and how aggressive it is. And Kerry Combs has been an incredible leader of that team. You know, he's one of those guys that's rah-rah doesn't even begin to cover Kerry Combs' attitude and how pumped up he is. He's like, I don't know, if like PJ Fleck and Urban Meyer somehow made another person, that would be Kerry Combs. But I love the fact that this defense is going to remain aggressive, and that's the other thing about the offense running tempo, which is apparently going to be happening with Kevin Wilson. That your defense is going to need to be equally as deep, if not more so, because they're going to be spending more time on the field. You know, obviously they're going to want to strike fast on offense, and knowing how much depth they have at that position is going to be maybe a question mark, but it looks like from all reports that we're getting here, it's not something that is first on the list of things to have to worry about or question marks that we have as far as defense is concerned. And offense, like we were just talking about before, knowing who is going to step up at wide receiver. Again, there's just this like bevy of guys that can really contribute and have the opportunity, and most likely, I mean, they want to rotate a lot of these guys in. Possibly depth at tight end. I know AJ Alexander is looking like the backup position right now, but we've even got folks converting over from D end to try to see if we can contribute there. And then possibly depth at running back as well. You know, Mike Weber is going to be the clear starter, but it's looking like from, you know, the hot name that's coming out of camp right now for backup is true freshman J.K. Dobbins. You hear words like explosive and intuitive from a true freshman. That's something that's really promising as a fan to expect out of somebody as a backup. And he's going to be getting touches as well. Demario McCollum and Antonio Williams as well will be getting some touches at running back, but I think it's going to be important as far as depth is concerned. The more plays you run, it seems like the running backs get the lion's share of tackles and contact when it comes to tempo. So it'll be interesting to see how balanced it ends up being in tempo, and because of that, what kind of depth they're going to end up needing at those positions.
Yeah, we can only take so much from the spring game, but Dobbins and Alexander both had nice spring games, concluding good spring sessions for both of them. Claire Crawford from the Ozone joining us here on Mark Rogers TV to talk Ohio State football. Claire, we need to know where we can find you, and we know that you've got a podcast ready to relaunch.
So I'm laughing because of the name that we've chosen for our podcast is really ridiculous, but we like to have a lot of fun on our show. You can find me on Twitter at Buckeye Claire, and it's Claire with no E, just like the way it should be. You can find me on Instagram. I post a lot of all kinds of fun fitness stuff and Buckeye stuff. It's just at Claire Crawford. And our show is on the Ozone. It's going to be called Oh Hail No, as in not hail to the victors. And a close second for the name for the show. We've revamped things a little bit, but anybody that has listened to my show in the past, it was almost named Scarlet and Gravy or Hot Dog Gravy. So as you can imagine, Oh Hail No came out as the unanimous winner.
So who can we thank for coming up with that gem?
Oh Hail No?
Yeah.
I can take full credit for that. But I had to make sure that it was voted on by my co-host Joe Dexter as well.
Well, it's well done by you. And if you would have thrown out those 3 or 4 selections, I think even for as clever as the other ones are, that is the one to go. There's just so many ways you can go with that name, and it means so many things in so many different directions. That's one of the keys to a clever a show name.
The O in Oh Hail No is definitely a capital OH.
And this coming from a guy who calls his show Mark Rogers TV. So I gave that just weeks of thought.
Hey, I'm available for any naming purposes you need.
Okay, we'll think that one over. Definitely. All right, Claire Crawford, her show's Oh Hail No. You'll be able to hear that coming up soon. Check her out on Twitter as well at Buckeye Claire. Claire, we appreciate the time. It was a great discussion. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me.